So my family was one of those families growing up that we never missed church. We were there for Sunday school, Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, vacation Bible schools, church camps, any special events. The church sings on Sunday afternoon. We were there for everything. And as I was growing up in the church, I was a little bit different than other people. I didn't really get it. I really didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't really understand this whole Jesus thing whatsoever. And so I kind of went my own way. And in fact, I was the only one in my family that wasn't a Christian. And I did a lot of really stupid and hurtful things during those years where I was just kind of out on my own doing whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't really following the path that my parents had really set in front of me. I was kind of out partying and living however I wanted. But one of the things that has always stuck with me is that in the midst of all of that, no matter how far I had gotten away from what I had grown up knowing, no matter how bad it had gotten, no matter how much I had kind of disappointed and embarrassed my family through the things that I was doing and the way that I was living, my dad never once let me know that he was the least bit disappointed. My dad never once came down on me hard, never once threatened, hey, one more time and you're out of this family. My dad, no matter what I did, was always there for me. And I never once doubted, even in the midst of all of the problems that I was causing, I never once doubted that my dad loved me. That is the same thing that we see in today's passage in Luke chapter 15. There's a son that runs off wild, does all of his own living, wastes his father's money and his inheritance, makes a mess of his life. But he says, you know what? The people in my father's house that work for him are better off than me. I'll just go back and I'll be a servant. So the son decides to come back to the father. And I love this verse in Luke chapter 15. It says, so he got up, this is verse 20, and went back to the father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and he was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. This son had disgraced his family. And when he decides to come home and ask for a job, the father is so overwhelmed with joy that he rushes out to meet him, wraps his arms around him, kisses him, and says, welcome home, son. Now, listen, this is the example that my dad set, and that's because he knew the father of this story as well. Because this is how God is with each and every one of us. As we're out living our own way, not according to the Father's wishes, maybe making a mess of our lives, the Father is always waiting on you to come home. Not the way He can judge you, not the way He can put you in timeout or reprimand you, but because He wants to wrap His arms around you and say, welcome home. So if you've been out doing things your own way, today the Father's invitation to you is this: just come on home.